Good, happy Monday, Modexus. I was going to say good morning, but it's not morning everywhere. So happy Monday, Modexus. Today I'm going to start with a sad story. If you'll listen to the story, and I hope I can communicate the message that I want to go along with this sad story. It involves my 55-year-old nephew, David. Now, David is my oldest nephew, and he was a kind of a hero to me in a lot of ways because David didn't do very well in school. He wasn't, top of the class. He wasn't even middle of the class. So his opportunities maybe were a little more limited, but David was willing to work. And he worked hard for about 10 years. He worked himself up to a very nice role in a supply chain situation. Then he decided to start his own business, and he started a machine shop. Now, David wasn't the machinist, but he could hire those people. So he started this machine shop, and he became very successful. And I always admired David for his just ability to take what he had and turn it into something so incredible for his family. At age 47, David started to notice that he couldn't lift things like he used to. His neck would get stiff, and would get sore. And so he started to check himself out. By the age of 50, David was diagnosed with full-blown Parkinson's, but it was very aggressive. By the time David was 51, he was now not able to handle any of his duties at his business, and he had to sell it. By age 52, he was put in a care home where he's been now for the last 3 years. He's 55 years old, and there's only some brief moments in his life where he knows where he is, knows who he is, or maybe knows the person that he's with. Other than that, unfortunately, we don't have our David any longer. So I've been very concerned about Parkinson's disease and understanding it. On the weekend, on my continuing education, it was about Parkinson's disease. So I listened to this incredible neurosurgeon talk about the fact that Parkinson's disease is completely, 100% completely preventable. The amount of people that have the genetics to get Parkinson's disease is like less than 2%. 200 years ago, there was 6 cases of Parkinson's disease, and now there's millions of cases. And it truly is a preventable, environmentally caused disease. So in his book, this neurosurgeon, it's called End Parkinson's Now, if you want to get that book. In his book, he makes the point that if we could rid the world of the chemicals that are causing Parkinson's disease, like we did with DDT years ago, if we could get rid of the TCEs, we could end Parkinson's. So that's where his efforts are going. So where do TCEs come? Where are they used? Well, they're used in, like David's machine shop, as degreasers and industrial lubricants, and for many other functions in a machine shop. Also in mechanic shops, anywhere where there's heavy work and heavy machinery, these chemicals are used. In dry cleaning, now in Canada, the use of PERC, which is a derivative, was just banned in January of 2023. Other countries, like the United States, it's still used. So if you're going to a dry cleaner, you want to ask them if they're PERC-free, and if they're not, you want to find a PERC-free dry cleaner right away. They're also used in fertilizer. So if you're a farmer, they're used a lot in fertilizer still. And the amounts have been reduced over time, but they're still used. And this doctor made that point, that they need to be eliminated, not just reduced in the usage, because long-term exposure over time, like a farmer who may farm for 35, 40, 50 years, it's going to build up in his body, just like if we're wearing dry, clean clothes, these chemicals build up in our body. And they can have other consequences too, like brain cancer, pancreatic cancer, lymph cancer. So many, many other diseases that are related to the use of these chemicals. So I really admired this doctor for one thing. When he was asked, what can we do to prevent Parkinson's? His answer was, well, we need to get rid of these chemicals. But the moderator said, well, is there any supplements? Is there anything that we can take that would help us? Because we've all been exposed. Everybody that's listening to this, everybody that's been around us, who's had their clothes dry cleaned, who's used fertilizer, who's ever been in a industrial job, most of us have been exposed to these chemicals. And he said, well, that's really not my expertise. I don't know anything about supplementation. I don't know anything about diet. And I thought that's really unfortunate because we do. We know about glutathione. We know about milk thistle. We know about Lonicera longevity. We know about probiobalance. These are all things that would help us because this sits in the fat in our bodies. So reducing the amount of cholesterol or fat in our body using probiobalance is going to be very beneficial. And then boosting our liver function, which both probiobalance and Lonicera longevity do. And of course, we know that glutathione is the #1 detoxification. It's a master of detoxification in our body. And there's a new life pack, which is on sale today, I guess. This is the last day, but 10% off for everything. The life pack, 2 bottles of Lonicera longevity and a probiobalance. Very, very good for anybody who works in industry, anybody who works in construction, anybody who works in farming, anybody who loves gardening, practically everybody. We've got the tools. We can at least help. Now, can I guarantee that you won't get Parkinson's? No, I don't know your life. I don't know what you've been exposed to in your life. I can't even guarantee it for myself. But I know that I'm going to take preventative measures. I take my Lonicera longevity every day, my probiobalance every day, along with other things. So you can do your best. And that was one of the things. He said, get it out of the environment and then try your best to get it out of your body. Well, we have the tools to do that. So while David's a sad story, we don't need to repeat it. We have the tools. Let's use them. Have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.